cabbage juice is already strained out. We've mixed the cabbage leaves, 3 cabbage leaves and 5 cups of water. And then we strained it out with a strainer and we took out some of the pieces. And the next thing we want to do is we want to dissolve these candies because we can't put a solid in order to get the pH level. So we're going to put this in. And our hypothesis was that we thought that these were going to be the most acidic because they're really sour. The taste is really sour. So we think that these were going to be the most acidic, but we'll find out in just a minute. And about 10 of these will be fine to just dissolve them and put them in this. So we'll start putting the water to dissolve them. Enough water to take the sourness out. We want to mix it to get the outer shell out. And we'll start doing the next candies, which are sour streamers. We're going to get 2 of each color. Start in the water again. And while those are dissolving, we'll start putting in ammonia in 1. And what we'll see is that the color of the cabbage juice will actually change. This is 1/4 of a cup. And it changed to a tealish color. And the next thing we'll do is some vinegar. But the reason why this changes colors is because the pH level of these solutions, depending on the color, we'll test that out in a little bit. So I'm going to start taking out the warheads, and I'll just put them in this cup. As you can see, the shell of the sourness just peeled off, and we'll start putting them. And then we'll measure it again with this 1/4 of a cup. And as you can see, it's just all the excess of the top layer of the warhead, all of it is just peeling off. So we'll put it in here. Changes like pinkish color just like this. And we'll mix this a little bit more. Let's take a little bit slippery because it's not rough anymore. Make sure there's none left. I'm going to do the same thing over again so we can have the same variables. And then next will be this orange juice that we'll be testing. And it looks like almost all of these are the same color, except for this one. And so now what we're going to do, we're just kind of clean up so we can have some more space. And what we're going to do is see the acidity level with a pH tester. So, like this. Take this. Move this a little bit forward. We're going to set this down, and then we're going to take the 1/4 of a cup again and pour a little bit, and then take these drops to test the acidity. 5 drops. Cover it up and shake. And we could test to see 7.2 to 6.8. And if you have sunlight, that would be 7.2. So it's actually pretty acidic, and this was the sour streamers. Let me just remember. So this was what? So that was the sour streamers, and it looks like they are pretty acidic. So think of this as going in your belly, and that's actually pretty acidic for that going and ruining the acidity levels. So we're going to see which of the kitchen tools we use to clean in our own house are as acidic as a sour streamer. So I'm just going to pour this in one thing we don't need. And since we already did this, we'll put this to the side. And we'll test one of the bases that we use to clean. And in this, I'll test ammonia. Make sure to be really careful with this. Very little. And then we'll put 5 drops of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll start shaking it. And as you can see, that is actually out of this range. So that is not acidic. The more lower, the lighter the color, the more acidic. So this is not very acidic. So ammonia, it's just not acidic. It has more of these base levels. So we'll go ahead and look. So then we're going to test this again. And so it wasn't the ammonia that was the same as the sour streamers. So we're going to test out the vinegar. And we'll pour it in here. And this can be kind of messy because it's really hard to keep it nice and balanced. Oops, I made a mistake. It's okay. It's this one. So, I made a mistake. I was off. But it's supposed to be the one that's already mixed. So, mix. And that is actually 7.2. So as we know, the vinegar and the sour streamers are actually the same level as acidity. So that means that it's like you consuming this whole bag of sour streamers as eating a whole cup of vinegar. And I don't think anyone would like that. So that's one thing that we need to be careful with of what we're consuming and how acidic it can be. We're going to pour this out and try the warheads. We're going to see if they're as acidic as the sour streamers. So our hypothesis was that the warheads were going to be more acidic than the sour streamers because they're more sour. But we're going to test that right now. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll cover the top so it doesn't leak. And shake. And that is about 7.2, or in the middle of 7.2 and 7.6. So what we know is that the sour streamers and the vinegar were the same, but the warheads were not as sour or acidic as the sour streamers and the vinegar. So our hypothesis was wrong, but we still need to test the orange juice. So we'll put the orange juice in again. One, two, three, four, 5. Cover it up. And we see that it is actually about 6.8. So orange juice is pretty acidic, and it was about 6.8. And so what you want to do next is probably write this down. And one thing we need to be careful with is making sure that we're not consuming really bad stuff for ourselves. So the purpose was that I wanted to see candies that we consume or food that we consume are as acidic as what we use to clean our house. And so our hypothesis, as I already said, was the warheads. We figured out that our hypothesis was wrong, and so we know that the vinegar and the sour streamers were really acidic, so we want to be careful in what we do. And thank you for watching.